Well, here's something a little different today. I'm actually recording this during market hours. 1 o'clock on Friday to be exact, and I'm trying to stay out of even more trouble that I'm getting myself into this week. Um, I'm probably going to be heading to Foxwoods for the weekend, so I thought I'd do the video on Friday. And since the market is either not moving or my monitor is completely broken, I have some time. Um, a few things I do want to talk about. First of all, the first annual Boston Bamboo Trader Cookout has been scheduled, if you haven't seen the post already, for Saturday, June 27th, rain or shine. And after looking into a lot of possibilities on where to hold it, and not knowing quite how many people will want to attend, I decided to host it at my house. We will have a tent set up if we need it for the rain. We have a nice place here on Cape Cod, right next to a golf course, a few miles from the beach. And it certainly is, as I've mentioned in the post, an open invitation to anyone interested in just hanging out with some traders. Families are welcome, kids are welcome. We'll do dinner at about 5. We'll have drinks at 4. And then we'll just hang out, into the evening hours, have the fire pit going. And I apologize for taking so long to get this going, but I've had several personal issues at this end to deal with, as you can imagine, as of late. So I wanted to get that out. If you have RSVP'd, and please, I need you to do so if you'd like to come. You should have already received more details on the event and directions and all that kind of stuff. So, again, open invitation to anyone serious about just hanging out with some really good people, and we'll firm up some relationships that we've had on a virtual basis in person, if you will. So I'm looking forward to it. Again, I'm sorry it took so long to get that. We've had 10 people sign up already, or RSVP. There's no cost. If you want to bring your own drinks, great. We'll have wine and pop here, which is basically what we drink. So anyway, looking forward to it. Talk a little bit about my own trading heading into June. It sucks. It really does. This has been my poorest performance on a monthly basis, and I had to go back into early '08 to even find something that's now around $30,000 for the month. I did not have a particularly good day today. I am still not sharp at all. As I mentioned in the post yesterday, and it's more than just a corny movie analogy. I am missing entries by inches, and as much as I'm trying to make up for the lack of perfection, which I often do via scaling and via size management, I have not done a very good job at that this month and this week. So we're going to book roughly the 30,000 for the month. I don't like it, but there's nothing more I can do about it, and head forward. It still keeps me at 400, a little over 400 year to date. Still, I think keeps me right at about the $1 million pace, and that's all well and good. But if I want to have any shot at where I want to be at the end of the year, I've really got to change some things. And again, this blog has always been about really two things. One is, of course, my personal diary, my personal journal, a way for me to motivate myself, and secondly, for those interested onlookers to look over, my shoulder, and see the realities, and see, when I do well, when I struggle, and certainly you saw some of the heartaches last year, and some of the nice successes, and you're going to go through times like this. I've said all along that it's been ridiculous that I haven't had 3 losing days in a row, and I don't know how many months it is now, but I think it was last February '08. And again, you just have to look at this on a long-term basis. For whatever reason, I'm not sharp right now. It has really nothing to do with the market. Yeah, the volatility has changed, the pace has changed a little bit, but it's all me. It really is. And if you're tired of me, yakking about it, then too bad. As is the case in sports, you often, don't know a lot of the injuries, and I know that when the Bruins went out of the playoffs quite some time ago against the Carolina Hurricanes, turns out that we found out a whole lot of those people were injured, and maybe a reason why they're performing. But I guess like athletes, I don't care to talk about some of the things that may be affecting me. I've certainly mentioned the pinched nerve and health issues that I've got right now, and it's still a bugaboo. It's like I have a knife in my neck 24 hours a day, and it is a little hard to focus. But I've got to deal with it. We all have our pains, and that's that. So anyway, again, in terms of my own trading, I've got to turn it around. Um, and I'm going to decide, as I mentioned the other day too, what I do with the blog. This has been, as many of you know, an experiment that started about a year ago. It'll be a year at the beginning of July, and it through no plan or anything, it has evolved into, again, 700 some people stopping by every day. The hits are over 1,000 a day, and I noticed a good friend Tim Borkwin just listed it at the top of his recommended trading blogs at traderinterviews.com, and again, I appreciate that. I guess there has been certainly some interest in what I've tried to do for the past year or so. I'm not a god. I'm a trader, and it's just the way it is. And I've certainly used the blog to try to kickstart the motivation. And I'm not sure where it's going to go for the next few months and beyond. We've got summer coming up. I know a lot of you have been just screaming at me for taking a long-term break. Maybe it's time for me to listen to you. Maybe I'll change the blog a little bit. Maybe I'll focus a little bit less on performance. Not because I'm not doing well right now. That doesn't have anything to do with it really. But maybe it'll evolve into a different type of platform. I don't know. And that's the God's honest truth. I don't know where to go with it. It certainly remains my diary. And the diary in and of itself was an experiment of sorts that began about the same time. And I thought that, let's see how a journal does in terms of affecting my own trading for the good or bad. And gee, while I'm at it, with all the people screaming at me to write a book and everything, I thought, well, let's see if the blog can, let's go online, make it non-commercial, and see if that might do some good. So anyway, I appreciate all the recent comments. Again, it's there's no great magic to it. I struggle at times like everybody else. I know in the long run, although my confidence has been waning a little bit lately because I've just been a step slow everywhere, and there hasn't been a whole lot of room for error. But in general, I know I can do this business. When I ramp up the focus, I seem to do particularly well. Duh. And maybe I've gotten a little bit lax after the last couple of years and an incredible run. One of the things I need to do, and I'm going to be doing, is putting a hard trailing stop on my trading capital. Just because I see a lot of little things sneaking into my trading that I don't like. And certainly I don't want to get into any type of a situation where the equity starts to decrease. It really hasn't been an issue for a long time. And I put a trailing stop in for 08 earnings in December that we all talked about, but really nothing on a career basis. And I'm kind of getting to that point. The capital is such that I've got a multi-million-dollar trading account. It's leveled off now. The chart, that, by the way, that's a real equity chart in yesterday's post. It's starting to flatten a bit for me. So I've got to put that protective mechanism in place. I've looked at a couple of things. I've looked at 5% stop. That's into the six figures, and I don't really care to do that. I think suffice it to say, if I happen to go a month, if I ever have a negative month, God help me. I don't see that ever happening, but that would certainly be a warning sign. This week has been negative, not my greatest performance by a long shot. I traded very poorly. And that's a warning sign in and of itself. So, I've got to, continue to think about where to go with my own trading, ramp things up. And, I'm rambling again, but those are some thoughts on a Friday heading into the weekend. Market's trying to move here, about 7 minutes past 1. Let's see if we can get some up movement and some interest. Looks like a lot of traders on the sideline this week. So those are thoughts. Again, the Boston Bamboo Trader Cookout, Saturday, Saturday, June 27th at my house on the Cape. We'll have a good time. Hope to see you there. Please RSVP if you plan on coming. We will either see you then or see you back online. Take care.